Joining me this afternoon, Guy St. Vincent from the St. Anne area. Guy, you're living in St. Anne right now?
Yeah, currently living in St. Anne.
And you're actually working as a goalie coach, is that right?
Yes, I own my own company called Top Shelf Goaltending out of St. Anne.
All right.
We work with goaltenders of all ages, from youngs to minor pros, and we're actually currently working with a St. Louis Blues draft pick.
And who's that?
Joel Hoffer out of Winnipeg.
That's really neat. Okay, and recently this came to my attention. This kind of blew me away. You've developed like a product for goalies. Tell me about this process and how this all got started, and then the product itself.
Okay, so what we created is called Block. What it's designed for is to protect the index finger on the blocker hand from being struck with pucks. Something that I dealt with playing pro hockey. I broke my finger a few times and bruised it, and just banged it up pretty bad, and we needed to come up with a situation or a solution for the problem. So I had temporarily fixed something while I played, and after I was done playing, I ran into one of my good friends that I hadn't seen in a while, and he was a product developer, so I threw this at him. He came back at me a month later that I had completely forgotten about it, and he presented me something over a computer. I thought it looked perfect, and so we went ahead and continued developing it, and making sure everything was good, and yeah, so we sent it off to our manufacturer, and 2 weeks ago we got our prototypes. So we've been trying to get it into hands of goaltenders that are still active or going to be training here soon.
Yeah, and before we get into like the successes and the people that you've been able to have test this, tell me a little bit about the product itself. So just kind of explain how this works, because the blocker side, that's of course stick hand, and so tell me what you're actually trying to protect from, and then what the product looks like.
So what it's designed to do is, a lot of the times we'll go into making a save or a butterfly save or whatever it may be. It could even be a shot. The puck will deflect off the paddle of our stick or ride up the paddle of the stick and come and strike our index finger. That stands out pretty vulnerable underneath our blocker. We grip our blocker hand in kind of a trigger finger, so it's got that exposed knuckle that kind of stands out a little bit. So what it's designed to do is for the puck to be deflected off before it makes contact with the finger.
Now, you actually had an issue with this early in your career, right?
Yes, correct. I broke it my first year pro.
Oof.
Yeah, and as a youngin', you never really wanted to deal with something like this. And my mentality behind this is, and this is just on a big scale, is the NHL guys. How much are their fingers worth, right? You look like a guy like Hallebuck, how much his finger's worth, or a guy like Carey Price, that's an $11 million finger that he's got there, that if it's broken, he can't play. So what we want to try to do is create this protective piece that just very easily attaches to the goalie stick and protects the finger. So
how many shots what's an average that a goalie would face?
We've kind of done a little bit of research, and an NHL goaltender will face between 30 and 40,000 shots a year. And then that includes their 22 to 2,300 shots they face in games. So you can tell that the high percentage of shots come in practices, whether it's training, pregame skates, whatever it may be, right?
Yeah, it'd be a shame to get injured in a practice like that.
Absolutely, and you still look at the youngins like the Pee Wee kids and bantams and midgets. They're still facing anywhere between 10,000 and 15,000 shots a year. So their numbers are just as high. Are we just shooting for the NHL guys? Absolutely not, right? Our clientele are going to be all goaltenders, whether it's you play minor hockey, you play beer leagues, or you play it for a living, right?
Yeah. Now we're chatting with Guy St. Vincent from the St. Anne area, talking about a little new invention that he's working on, or actually already worked on, going into production now for goalies. What's kind of the successes you've got so far, or who's testing these things right now?
So we have currently Aaron Dell from the San Jose Shark testing it. He's been wearing it through practice and pregame skates and stuff like that. So I've gotten some feedback from him, and he says it's absolutely awesome. So that's really good to hear. We actually have the St. Louis Blues organization trying it out as well. I've sent one out to the very own Matt Radomski. So I just got feedback from him, and he's told us exactly what we're shooting for, his description, his thought behind just the first impression. Because sometimes first impressions is key, right? You look at something that kind of looks goofy and it's like, nah, I don't want to try it. But this thing's pretty sleek looking, simple to install. and it does what it needs to do.
And what's the next step with this then?
So we've actually signed up for a big conference in Austin, Texas, that will promote this product to over 250 equipment trainers, from junior levels all the way to the NHL, along with the athletic trainers. So we're going to try to hit the athletic part, but also the training staff, right? Because we believe that this is a product that can be used for safety, but also a piece of equipment. So we're going to try to nail it all together in one shot, and just see what people think.
Nice.
We don't know what to expect. This is going to be a very big show. There's going to be over 900 booths, so there's going to be, you name it, they'll be there, kind of thing.
That's got to be nerve-wracking, eh?
It is, but it's exciting. I truly believe our product will speak for itself. I don't think we're going to have to do a whole lot of explaining.
Yeah.
I truly believe that this is something every goalie's dealt with at some point, whether it's once or whether it's pretty frequent. I think once is enough for you to make a decision on using this and not going forward without it.
So before this goes into the NHL as a piece of equipment, is there like an approval process?
Well, this is only going to be designed for practice.
Okay.
So we don't need to deal, I don't think, with the NHL as far as the sponsor, our logos and whatnot. This is just designed for practice right now. If this is something the NHL wants to look into making this something that they can use in a game, I think we'll go down that road a long time from now.
It's just crazy that you're saying that at all, eh?
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It's just one of those things that I never really dreamt about, right? This was something that I wanted to create it simply for the fact of I was tired of it.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine every other goalie out there, because there's tons and tons of goalies out there. So we'll see what happens. I'm enjoying the ride. It's been fun. But we'll go from here.
Cool. Thank you so much, Guy.
No problem. Thank you.